Hey guys, Rob here bringing another unbagging. Alright, so this is going to be the third one that I picked up the previous Sunday from when we went down to Ottawa, Dave and I, to play in an Ottawa ASL group meetup. They do this once a month, usually in the spring, ramping up for Caslow. And it was a basic meetup with, it was 8 guys this time, including Dave and I. And I prearranged with Chris and Helen from Battleschool to pick up some action packs. This is number 13. That'll be unbagging here today. Again, Battleschool, you'll see the link down below in the description. And if you're in Canada, it's a good place to go to get your stuff. They're online only, so they don't have any kind of footprint. You're going to have to contact them to see what they have, get a PDF catalog to see what kind of goods that they have available. So, yeah, Chris and Helen from Battleschool. Contact them for any ASL goodness, including the Battleschool dice, which are quite handy. All right, so ASL Action Pack number 13, Oktoberfest XXXII. We got 2 new maps and 11 scenarios. So we're looking at boards 78 and 79, another river board with a nice little village on the side. We'll look at those and a nice hilly mass feature. And 11 scenarios, ranging from 39 all the way to 45, covering everything from Poland to Hungary and Italy, France, everything in between. Looks like there's a couple of PTO in there as well for you guys that love Pacific. All right, let's see what's inside. Here we go, AP 121 along the Vistula, 4 boards. You don't see very many like these anymore. Usually they're 3 board max. You don't see too many big boards like this. Poland, 1939, looking at 17 squads versus 24 Germans coming in. 6.5 turns as well. That is a lot of real estate to cover, and this is all on foot. And you have to exit 35 or more VP off the south edge or by controlling all multi-hex stone buildings in the Polish setup area. So north is at the top. You have to exit off the south. Yeah, board 79 was the river board. So this is a river board right here. West of the river, north of Hexer Y. South edge or by controlling all multi-hex. So it's going to be an interesting map setup. Maybe you don't have to traverse as much map as I thought. And it's a lot of real estate that the Polish do have to cover, so it may not be as bad as I thought. Polish Elite and First Line have Assault Fire. Again, this is fairly standard now, I believe, in the latest version of the rulebook. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's fairly standard that Poles are now Elite and First Line have Assault Fire capabilities. So this may not be in SSRs anymore, but again, don't quote me on that. Mechanized Sacrifice, AP 122. We're looking at 6.5 turns, 2 boards. This is an all armored one with a single half squad for the Germans with an ATR. Okay. June 41. Russians have 14 armored vehicles of various types. And the Germans, for their part, have a mix of half tracks, armored cars, and a couple of 3, I think that's a G. I believe that's a Panzer 3G. They got some 2Fs, and the rest are half tracks and armored cars. And again, they got the 1 half squad with an ATR and an 8-0. Busting in Balta, again, 4 boards. Fairly large, 24 squads for the Russians. You also have another squad with a mortar and a crew. 2 mortars and a crew, crews setting up. And you also have 3 armor pieces coming on for the Russians. Facing off, you have 23 Germans Mixture of 5/4/8 and 8/3/8, 7 8/3/8. That's pretty good. 16 5/4/8. You do have a 105 artillery piece for support. SSR2 can only fire during the OBA step of the prep fire phase. So basically, you get like a one shot, like an OBA shot. Sets up on board, but it basically acts like it's OBA in direct fire. It's kind of weird. 8/3/8 are assault engineers, no surprise there. Lunch in Luga, Russia, 1941. Bill Sizzler design, 3 boards, 79 once more is that river board, 78 is the other board, the hilly one that we'll look at in a second. And we have 16 SS squads, SS Polizei Division, and you only have 12 Russian squads facing off in the defense. I assume that's sitting on the far side of the river. Yeah, there's a 2-lane stone bridge existing in the following hex. 3 hexes. And, yeah. Right, moving to the PTO, March 44, most of the board's 78. Looking at Americans versus Japanese, 12 Japanese squads. You do have 12 American squad equivalents setting up in the defense, including a pillbox, a 235. Mariuma's Stronghold, Burma 44. Looks like we have a railway. And we have 6 overlays in total, including 3 of them being the railway connection. We have Chinese versus Japanese. 8 Japanese squads versus 15 537 elite Chinese. Chinese do get a module of 70mm OBA. And AP 127, weird orientation of boards. So you have a fort board, half of that, and then you have board 78. Free French versus German. 11 Hermann Goring 468 447s versus 14 squad equivalents of Free French. This is in Italy, June 44. Flight of Fancy, Pete Schelling design. Germans versus British. 14 Germans with 2 tanks, a 4H and a 4J. And you have 18 British with a couple of Sherman Vs. Yeah, bocage in effect. Again, 79 is that river board. Polish battlefield, August 44, 2 overlays, board 44, 78. It's going to be a 2-page scenario card. Group 1 and Group 2. Looks like we have to select groups here. Yeah, so 129, 129. Yeah, prior to setup, each player records 1 select from each of the 4 number groups to compromise their OB. 2 of these selections must be lettered A, the other 2 must be lettered B. So you have Group 1A, Group 2AB, Group 3AB, and Group AB. So you have to pick a Group 1A or B, Group 2A or B, and then you have to pick Group 3A or B, and so forth. So 2 A's and 2 B's to augment. So you have a lot of replayability in this. You have Shermans, VCs, you have Sherman 5s, you have Crusaders, you have the 6-pounders, you have the 17-pounder. That'll come in handy. Germans, for their part, have a Stugs, they have Mark 4H's, a couple of Panthers, Stu 42, half tracks, and they have SS and 5.48s, as well as OBA 120 and 80 millimeters. So you have a lot of variability in what you can choose to set up, and all the Germans are SS. Das Reich. Nasty. Maga Ray Morning and Bill Sizzler design, 3 boards. 8 squads for the Americans with 8 tanks, excuse me, for the Americans, and you have 8 SS with another 6 setting up on a different board for a total of 14, as well as 5 tanks for the Germans, including 2 Panthers, and you have 3 4Js. Yeah, so board 78's a level 3 hill hexes. I believe that they have to control as a VC. The Germans have to control. Winter camouflage in effect for the Germans. All 5.48s are SS, as are the A38s. Crickets in the Spring, AP 131. This is Hungary 45. Bill Sizzler, 3 boards. And 12 squads with 6 T-34-85s. Get some of that in you. And 3 of the 76 long artillery pieces. And you have 12 6.58s facing off with 3 Panthers and some half-tracks. And then you have 3 SIG 38 TMs coming on for support, getting those 150s rocking. ECR mud, so it's going to be sucking to get off the road. Weather is mud as well, and mist is in effect. All roads are paved. Good old SIG 38s. Cool. All right, board 79. I like fairly standard river board. Nice villages on either side of it. I like these single hex multi-story buildings. You do have a circle, large circle indicating it's a 1.5 level building, so be wary of that. Remember, that's what the large circle indicates, as opposed to the smaller dot. That's normal standard. Mixture of wood and stone. Just the clarity of the artwork is just so different. Any of you long-time ASLers, you remember what the old hard-mounted boards are like. The artwork is obviously come a long way from that. Board 78. So here we have a level 3 hill, just a small little 3-hex level 3. Quite eastern front, I would say. Well, I guess this would be anywhere. Brush all over the place. You do have grain, bit of a hindrance up on the top or on the upper levels. Same with the brush. Good hiding spots. This would be a good board for Sassel, just because you can have a lot of concealment spots for all your units to hide, to put units down for your objectives. I like this board as well. Cover and concealment without obscuring lines of sight, which is what I like. Lastly, here we have the Oktoberfest 32 credits. Peach Shilling, Bill Sizzler Designs. Usual suspects and all around. Playtesting was actually quite a small crew this time. I was actually expecting that to be a lot larger. There's actually more proofers than there are playtesters, which is kind of weird. The usual ASL crew. One day I will make it to ASL. I really, really hope so. Yeah. All right, and there we have action pack number 13. And as I said, this is the third of action packs that I picked up recently from Ottawa, from Helen and Chris, again, Battleschool games, for all your ASL needs, based out of Ottawa. Online presence only, so again, look at the description down below and you'll see the link to their website. See you guys next video. Bye-bye.